Okay, we've talked about Redfall a handful of times because Redfall, of course, was one of the most delightful disasters of the last year or so. A lot of us saw it coming. It just didn't look very good. And then when it came out, we were like, yep, sure enough, it sucks. But I don't think any of us expected it to be like so broken and unfun. But it just was the perfect mix of live service, brain dead development, and then also just a jumbled hodgepodge of tech that didn't really work properly. And as a result, they've had to spend the last year or two fixing, not two, but the last year basically fixing the game. And they've added some improvements. They added 60 FPS support. I did a video following up on it on the main channel, and it ran better. Like the guns felt way more zippy and tight. Like, you know, when you're playing a shooter and you fire the bullet and then it makes contact, the hit registration is super accurate and the damage immediately is reduced just instantaneously. It just feels really tight and well optimized. And that's what it started to feel like last time I played it. So it is way better than it was, because it used to be that you'd shoot and then, you know, the hit registration might be a little off or a little delayed just by like a tenth of a second or a quarter of a second, but just enough for you to notice that it's not working the way it should. So they've made improvements and stuff, but they're still really far behind because, again, this is supposed to be a live service game. This is supposed to be a game that you're playing for years and years and years on end. And so as a result, they've pretty much put all of the live service elements on hold while they just try to get the game working the way it should have been working day one. And so they just announced that it looks like Bethesda's Redfall is not going to get new heroes or all of the other deluxe edition content until sometime next year. So like straight up a year of nothing, which is crazy. This article from PC Gamer goes on. Arcane has dropped a new update for its undead shooter Redfall that adds a powerful new weapon, makes a number of changes to AI, which is sorely needed because the AI still, even after this update, is pretty brain dead. So they still have some work to do, but I'm glad to hear that they're making fixes, missions, and gameplay, and introduces a handful of performance and stability tweaks. Unfortunately, it also reveals that the promised Hero Pass, a $30 upgrade to the base game that promises 2 new heroes to play as, is still in development and won't be available until next year. Again, like, it's so insane to me. There was like $100 variation of this game. There was a version of this game that people spent $100 on, or upgraded their base version $30 up to get the hero pass that they've still not gotten like any benefit from. It's wild to me. Now, some people have said, oh, they should just walk away. And technically there is a precedent for that. Another game that did that was Assassin's Creed Unity. They actually canceled the season pass back in 2014. Basically, the game was just really poorly received, and they could not justify all of the work and money being poured into it to make it to deliver everything they sold in the season pass. So they made the Unity Dead Kings DLC free for everybody. They have the choice of an additional selection of a game, so they could pick a video game basically to get for free. It's not clear if people were able to get full refunds or what, but at the very least, they tried to make amends by giving away free stuff. And maybe if Xbox decides to just pull the plug on it, maybe they do something like that. Maybe they go and, I don't know, offer a year of Game Pass for free or something like that. I don't know. Maybe that's a good way to win them over. But with all of this, like, the big problem for Redfall is just that apparently the devs don't even like the game. Like, the devs wanted Xbox to cancel it once they were acquired. So like, it's a really interesting situation where Redfall is the result of ZeniMax, the parent company, forcing them to make a live service game to boost revenue numbers so that they look better when they're acquired by Xbox. Everybody at Arcane Austin doesn't want to make Redfall, but they're doing it because the bosses say they have to. And then Xbox buys them, and everybody at Arcane Austin is like, oh, thank God. Thank God. They're going to come in, see how terrible this is. They're going to cancel it. We can go make Dishonored, whatever, Deathloop 2. We can do something we really want to do. But Xbox came in and it's like, we respect your creative freedom. We're not touching anything. Keep making what you were making. And they're like, well, crap. We were hoping you'd cancel it. So they had to shove it out the door. And as a result, it was just an unmitigated disaster. But apparently the devs don't even really like the game itself. So they're working on it, but not joyfully. And frankly, at this point, like if they're trying to acquire talent as well to help them develop it, if they post a hiring notice, who's going to want to go and work on Redfall right now? Like, why would you work on Redfall when you can go and work at Bethesda Game Studios, Austin? Or you can go work at any of the other game development studios in Austin. Or if you're willing to travel, apply for any other job anywhere else. Like, nobody wants to work on a dying game or a game that everybody hates. Everybody wants to work on a big game that they can be really proud of. And that's a big problem for talent retention and acquisition, is once you have that bad reputation, you're just not attracting the talent. So it's going to be interesting to see how Redfall pans out. They're promising to do sort of a No Man's Sky, Fallout 76 situation where they want to dig it out of its grave and give it a new life and stuff. We'll just have to see if that happens. I'll believe it when I see it. As of right now, I just don't know how many people are actually that interested. Like with No Man's Sky, there were millions of people that really, really wanted the game to be great and saw the vision and were like, this could be great if they just followed through on it. But with Fallout 76, there were also a lot of people that liked the idea and the concept. With Redfall, I don't think there ever was anybody that was into the idea. So I don't foresee this having a big comeback. But if it does, I would love to be wrong, and we shall see. He took my thing.